These are the 10 biggest automotive scandals that shook the industry. The Tucker 48, a revolutionary car doomed by controversy. After World War II, Preston Tucker introduced the Tucker 48, an innovative car that boasted advanced safety features and a rear engine design. However, Tucker's unconventional business practices led to an investigation by the Securities and Exchange Commission for fraud. Tucker claimed the big three automakers conspired against him, blocking access to materials and sabotaging his company. Though he was acquitted in 1950, the damage was done. Only 51 Tucker 48s were ever produced. The scandal remains one of the most infamous in automotive history. The Ford Pinto, when profits mattered more than lives. In the 1970s, Ford engineers discovered that rear-end collisions could cause the Pinto's fuel tank to rupture and explode. Instead of fixing the issue, Ford weighed the cost of a recall against potential lawsuits and decided to move forward with production. An internal memo estimated that fixing the problem would cost $137 million, while settlements for deaths and injuries would total just $49.5 million. After public outrage, Ford recalled the Pinto in 1978, but not before hundreds of people were injured or killed due to the defect. Ford's failure to park transmission defect. Between 1966 and 1980, over 20 million Ford vehicles had a dangerous transmission defect that allowed them to slip from park into reverse on their own. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration received 23,000 complaints, yet Ford avoided a full recall by issuing warning stickers instead of fixing the design flaw. By 1984, the defect was linked to 77 deaths, making it one of the deadliest auto scandals in history. Audi's U.S. market presence. The Takata seatbelt scandal. Before the infamous airbag recall, Takata was already involved in a major scandal in the 1990s over faulty seatbelt buckles. By 1995, over 8 million vehicles were recalled due to seatbelts that failed to latch properly. Though no deaths were reported, at least 60 injuries were linked to the defect, and automakers worldwide faced over $1 billion in recall costs. The Ford Firestone tire disaster. Between 1991 and 2000, Ford Explorers fitted with Firestone tires were involved in dozens of fatal rollovers due to sudden tread separation. The NHTSA investigation found that at least 100 deaths were linked to the defect. Firestone recalled 6.5 million tires, and Ford recalled another 13 million in an attempt to control the damage. The scandal ended the century-long partnership between Ford and Firestone and changed tire safety regulations forever. In 2010, Daimler, the parent company of Mercedes-Benz, was caught in a global bribery scheme, making at least $56 million in illegal payments across 22 countries. These bribes helped the company secure contracts and earn $1.9 billion. Daimler was fined $185 million by the SEC, marking one of the biggest corporate corruption cases in automotive history. Toyota's unintended acceleration crisis. Between 2004 and 2010, Toyota vehicles were plagued by unintended acceleration issues, leading to fatal crashes and lawsuits. The problem was caused by floor mats trapping gas pedals and defective accelerator mechanisms. Toyota eventually recalled over 9 million vehicles and was hit with a $1.2 billion fine in 2014 for trying to cover up the issue. The GM ignition switch disaster. From 2001 to 2014, General Motors ignored a deadly ignition switch defect that caused cars to shut off while driving, disabling power steering, brakes, and airbags. Despite knowing about the problem for years, GM avoided a full recall due to cost concerns. The issue was linked to 124 deaths, and GM was forced to pay a $900 million fine after public outrage and government investigations. The Takata airbag recall, the biggest in history. Takata made history with the largest auto recall ever, affecting over 100 million airbag inflators worldwide. The airbags, found in cars from over 20 automakers, were prone to exploding with deadly force, sending shrapnel flying at drivers and passengers. As of 2024, at least 35 deaths and hundreds of injuries have been linked to the faulty airbags. The scandal bankrupted Takata and resulted in billions of dollars in fines and settlements.